Hey guys, Mr.Relatable here. Welcome back to another episode of Creative Basics, and welcome to Fortnite Chapter 2. That just dropped yesterday, so in that, obviously, everything in the BR got changed, as well as there's some new stuff in Creative, including some new prefabs, some new galleries, and some new devices. We're going to be going over the devices in this video. We're going to go over the Conditional Button and Lock device, as these are the newest devices, and they're a little confusing when you first start with them. So I'm hoping that through this video, you guys will understand exactly what they do and how to work them. So what you're just going to want to do is go into the creative menu, go to devices, and just pull them out. They're the first two in the rows right now. That could change in the future, but as of right now in patch 11 or chapter 1, I guess, or chapter 2 rather, they're right in the very beginning. So once you grab them and throw them down, they're going to kind of look like this. They're a little confusing what they do and how they work. So we're just going to kind of lay them out like this. And we're going to go over the conditional button first. So this is the conditional button. Kind of looks like this. It has a weird exclamation point kind of hologram that turns into a question mark. And that's all going to change once we start editing it. So press E on it. And we're going to go through all of these settings real quick. There's not a ton, so it's pretty simple. Team, this is just what team you're going to be allowed to activate it. If you want every team to be able to like press this button, or kind of, it's kind of hard to explain right now, but you'll understand it. Pretty much what team do you want to allow to interact with this? Can be used by what you want this to be used by, owning team, other teams, all. We're just going to put that on all for now. Color, this is what color you kind of want the thing. You see how it's white right now. We changed it to red orange. It kind of looks like that. Put it to fuchsia and so on. There's a lot of different colors. This is pretty much just going to be used for distinguishing between them. It doesn't actually change any of the properties. It just changes what it looks like. So if you're setting up a lock on a door, for example, you're probably going to want this color to be the same. So we could put this one on gold and then have this one on gold, just so players kind of know that they work together. Interaction text, what you want this to say, drop item in, let's say, for example. And now when we drop our item into that, that'll be the little text that pops up. You see how there's a little customized text that comes up right now? That's what's going to be changing when players actually physically walk up to it in game. Display icon, exclamation, bold, recycle. So that kind of changes what's on here. You could turn that to an on-off button, locked, unlocked, stuff like that. We're just going to put it to the exclamation point for now. Disable after use. This is pretty much if you want this to be a one-time use or not. For our purpose of unlocking the door, we're going to put it on a one-time use. Show key item. You see how it's an a question mark right now? That'll change once we drop our key item in. If you want that to display what the key item is, then you're going to want to just put that to on, so players know what the key item is. Otherwise, you're going to want that on. You're going to want that on no if you don't want the key item to show. We're just going to put it on yes. Key items required. This is how many items, or how many of a certain item you want the players to have to use. So let's say you're going to make your key item 50 wood. Then you're going to want to turn this all the way up to, let's say, 50 wood. We're just going to put this on 1. Consume key item. If you want the button, or if you want the conditional button to kind of eat the item, quote unquote. So let's say you make your key item the 50 wood that we were talking about. Do you want them to activate this and then consume the 50 wood? So that kind of takes the 50 wood away from them. All key items required at once. If you have multiple key items, let's say 50 wood, 50 metal, 50 brick, do you want them to require all 150 total of those? If yes, then put this on yes. Enable on game start. Pretty simple if you just want this device to be on when the game starts. If you want it to be off and then turn on, what you can do is put this on enabled at game start, no, and then enable when receiving from a certain channel. And then you can have a button that submits or transmits to, let's say, channel 1. So you press the button, it sends a signal to channel 1. Channel 1 then turns this device on. We're just going to put this on and then no channel. And then what's important, when activated, transmit on channel, whatever channel that you want. there's actually a lot more channels now. It goes all the way up to 75, which is kind of crazy. Remember when you can only use about 20 of them. But put this on channel 1 for now. What this is basically saying, if you haven't watched my transmitters and receivers episode, this kind of just says it's going to send out a signal onto a wavelength called channel 1, and then you can make devices that activate when receiving from channel 1. So this kind of sends a signal to channel 1, and then we can have this device activate on channel 1. So first things first, we got to pick our key. So now that this is all set up and we like it, we can go to our devices, galleries, prefabs, literally anything, weapons, consumables, and pick a key. For this, I'm going to use the new flopper fish. So I'm just going to double click it to add it to my play menu right here. And then you're just going to want to fly above the device and drop it on in like so. And now you can see that there's a flopper that shows up on the screen like that. Now what we're also going to do is quickly make a new chest and then create the chest. And now we're just going to put this on the ground like so. Just so when we're in the game, we're actually going to be able to have a flopper fish. Otherwise, we would have no way to get the fish. But now we have a chest there. We're just going to move the chest away just so the audio isn't too annoying. So once you have that, this basically means we're going to open our chest, we're going to get our flopper fish, and then we can put our flopper fish in this. Now we have to make the door unlock. So what's really cool about this thing is you can see we can open and close a door just like normal. But what this allows us to do is put it on a wall or put it near a door. We're just going to put it right there. It's going to be floating off the wall. If you don't want it to float, all you have to do is turn off grid snap and then just kind of walk in until you kind of see it enter the wall a little bit like so. And now it's just in the wall. But now what we could do is customize this. And now we can change all of the settings with the door, which is really cool. So initial door position, if you want the door to be closed or open right off the bat. So if we put it on open, when the game starts, the door will look like that. If we put it on closed, it'll look like that. Very simple, very simple. Visible in game. If you want this physical device to be visible, we're going to just keep that on. We already went over color. If you just want to kind of match them, you obviously don't need to, but it's just pretty handy if you do for players to understand which is activating which door. Starts locked. If you want the door to start locked, or if you want the door to start unlocked. If it's on no, the door will be unlocked. If it's on yes, the door will be locked. And now we can unlock when receiving from channel 1, which is the channel that we set up with the conditional button, if you guys remember. We put it on when activated, transmit on channel 1. Now we can just put this to unlock when receiving from channel 1. We can also put it to open when receiving from channel 1. So what this would pretty much just allow us to do is have the door closed like so, and then the door will automatically open once you activate the conditional button. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to have it unlock when receiving from channel 1. Also, you can make the door lock after hitting the conditional button, which you could do by hitting starts locked no, which means the door is unlocked, and then you can make it lock when receiving from channel 1. So now the door would lock after you put in the key. But we're just going to put it back to what we did. So now we're going to start the game just to show you guys what happens with everything here. So if we head over to here, you can see that it says locked, and I'm pressing E. You can probably hear it on my keyboard, and it will not open the door. And then this button is going to be showing up as red. And it also has this, and it shows that we need one flopper fish, and it says drop item in because that's what we set up. So if we head over to our chest, get our flopper, we can come over to this thing, and now you can see that it's blue, and now I can hit the drop button or drop item in. If I drop this over here, I can't do anything when I press E on it. So now we can pick up our flopper, drop the item in, and now if you come over here, you'll notice that our light is now blue, and we can open our door. So yeah, that's pretty much the conditional button and key, and that's kind of it. There's not a whole lot to them, but they are a little confusing just trying to get everything to work in sync with one another. You know, it's not just like a music sequencer where you can just throw it down and then it works. You kind of do need both devices and kind of mess with them. So you got to make sure that both of them are in sync, both of them are on the same channel. And now also you can see that this is disabled now, so we can't do anything with it. We can't press E on it, we can't interact, anything like that. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode of Creative Basics, guys. that's pretty much all that they added in terms of mechanics. There are a couple new things as well, such as, more channels and receivers, but we're not going to go over them right now. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will be sure to respond as soon as I possibly can. But that's going to be it for now. If you guys did enjoy, feel free to like and comment. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys hopefully in the next one. Bye.